LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's queer up entertainment. Natasha Lyonne responds after she was escorted off a Delta flight before New York City appearance. Actor Natasha Lyonne has addressed reports with a pointed message on Twitter. She said, quote, "My heart is with all the unpaid TSA agents at our airports," end quote, adding that she was set to appear on the Drew Barrymore Show, but it wasn't in the cards. According to reports, she allegedly refused to follow crew instructions. The captain told passengers, quote, "We have a passenger who for whatever reason wouldn't follow some basic commands," end quote. The incident remains unconfirmed. Lyonne later attended a New York premiere of Lorne the next day and is set to appear in Euphoria Season 3. This story has a lot of question marks around it for me. I'm really an admirer of her work, and I'm excited to see the third season of Euphoria. But apparently she said later, in the comment that she made on Twitter or X, that she took a Lunesta and that she said her boarding was fine, seamless, and everything was fine, and then somehow things just went unhinged.
You know, I can't even sit through one episode of Euphoria because of how much drugs there are on there. I'm super triggered, and I know how popular the show has been. And someone had kind of told me beforehand, and I was like, oh, that's bullshit. How are you going to be that triggered? And I tried to sit through it, and I can't. And now the fact that she is on that show, right? I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but I'm saying, you know, sometimes art imitates life, and that sometimes spills over. She had told news reports a couple of weeks back that she had a slip in her sobriety and that she had relapsed. And at that point, if that happens, it's all hands on deck. It's let's get help. Let's get into rehab. Let's talk to people. Let's do what we have to do to get back on track. And I don't think that it seemed like she did that, unfortunately, you know. At the reports say that she had her laptop out, that she wouldn't close it. You know, when they tell you to put your trays down, I mean, you know, you've got to follow directions, and that they asked her repeatedly and she refused to do it. And she might have, you know, said something that she shouldn't have to. The flight attendant, blah, blah, blah. All these things may or may not have happened, right? You know, but they don't just throw you off a plane.
Right.
Okay. From someone that has been thrown off a plane for being too drunk. Okay. When I wasn't sober, I will tell you that it takes a lot for them to do that. They don't want to go through all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it saddens me because she seems very talented. I loved her in Orange is the New Black, and anything else that she was honestly in, I gravitated it and was really taken by her. So it's sad.
I absolutely hate that we are doing this story. There's no indication that there was ever any threat. It sounds like it happened on the ground. We weren't, you know, doing a quick U-turn back in to the airport. Nobody was really ever in danger. She's had a long history of substance abuse, and if she came out a couple weeks ago, like you said, and talked about a lapse and all that, then that's great, and that's good for her. And I love that she puts it out there so that people who relapse all the time can see it happens to everyone. But why are we doing this? And you and I have talked about mental health in recent days on a completely different story. But to have your mental health and every mini episode play out like this is a curse of fame, but it's also unconscionable. There's nothing breaking news about this story other than the person whose name is attached to it. There's really no news attached to this story. Let people be sick in peace. Let people heal in peace. There was nothing unique about this particular story.
She's a star, so it is
aside from the fact.
But we can't take that off, and we're a news outlet, so it's what we do. We give the news. You know what I mean? It's sad that she can't, because this doesn't help her sobriety. By no means does this help. You know what I mean? Like,
talk about triggering.
This would throw me back into it big time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So because of that, I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, that is an LGBTQ plus 1 minute news story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.